The sky above Earth was calm, the stars shining quietly, when suddenly the peace shattered. Massive ships appeared from the darkness, moving faster than anything humans had ever seen. They were the Empire, a force so powerful that entire planets had fallen before them. Humans watched in fear as the fleet formed a perfect circle around Earth. No one had warned them, no one had seen them coming. On the surface, cities trembled as alarms blared across every country. People ran to their homes, looking up at the sky with terror in their eyes. Governments scrambled to respond, but there was nothing they could do. The Empire's voice came through loudspeakers, clear and commanding. "People of Earth, surrender your planet, or face total destruction," it said. There was no room for negotiation, no room for mercy. In a small command center underground, General Kieran stood silently. He was one of the few humans who believed they could fight, even against impossible odds. His eyes scanned the screens, showing the Empire's ships moving closer. "They are too strong," said one officer, shaking his head. "They will destroy us in hours," whispered another. But Kieran did not move, he did not falter. Kieran thought of the human spirit, of the courage that had kept humanity alive for centuries. He knew that giving up was not an option, even if it meant facing certain death. "We will not bow," he said firmly, his voice calm but strong. The officers looked at him, confused and scared. "You are insane," one of them said. Kieran only smiled, "Maybe, but sometimes insanity is the only way to survive." Above the cities, the Empire's ships began to scan the planet. Massive beams of light swept across oceans and forests, searching for hidden weapons. People inside the cities held their breath, praying they would not be discovered. Children clung to their parents, not understanding the danger, but feeling it deep inside. The Empire was relentless, cold, and powerful, and humans had never faced anything like this. In a hidden laboratory, Dr. Amina worked frantically. She and her team had been preparing for years, developing a secret technology. It was humanity's last hope, a weapon that could change the tide of war. But no one knew if it would work, and failure meant total annihilation. Amina looked at the small device in her hands and whispered, "Please, let this be enough." Meanwhile, in the sky, small human ships tried to intercept the Empire's scouts. They were fast, but fragile, and most were destroyed before reaching the enemy. Pilots fought bravely, knowing they had little chance of survival. Each loss weighed heavily on the hearts of the humans. But every battle also showed the Empire that humans would not give up easily. In one city, a young boy named Leo watched the sky in awe and fear. He had seen stories of the Empire on old videos, but never thought it would come to Earth. His father held him tightly, whispering, "Stay strong, we are humans, we never give up." Leo did not fully understand, but he felt a spark of courage inside. A spark that would grow as he watched humanity fight back. As night fell, the Empire's ships hovered above major cities. Their lights turned night into a strange, cold day. People could feel the weight of their presence, heavy and terrifying. Kieran gathered his officers in the command center. "We need a plan," he said, spreading maps across the table. The room was silent, the air thick with tension. Suddenly, a small signal blinked on one of the screens. A hidden fleet, human secret ships, was preparing to move. Kieran's heart raced. "This is it," he said. He knew it was risky, almost suicidal, but it was the only chance humanity had. The Empire thought humans were weak, simple, and easy to defeat. They did not know that Earth's people had courage, intelligence, and unity. Outside, the world waited, holding its breath. The Empire demanded submission, but humans refused to bow. A new chapter was beginning, one that would change the fate of the universe. The Empire had arrived to conquer, but humanity had not yet revealed its power. The first moves were being set, the stage was ready for a war like no other. And somewhere deep inside, humans knew that they could fight back. The stars above Earth shone brightly, as if watching the humans below. In the hearts of every person, fear mixed with hope. They were outnumbered, outgunned, but not defeated. The Empire had arrived, but humanity was ready to rise. Deep underground, far from the Empire's eyes, humans worked in silence. Massive chambers held fleets of ships, weapons, and strange machines that glowed with blue light. No Empire scout had ever found this place, and no one knew its full power. General Kieran walked through the hall, his boots echoing on the metal floor. He felt a surge of hope, for here was the seed of humanity's defiance. In the main laboratory, Dr. Amina and her team were busy testing new energy weapons. "They won't expect this," she said, her hands flying over controls. Small drones zipped through the air, carrying secret packages of advanced technology. Every human worker moved with purpose, knowing that failure meant the end of their world. Outside, the distant Empire fleet shone in the sky, unaware of the storm brewing below. Kieran paused by a holographic map of the Empire's ships. He traced the lines, noting weaknesses and blind spots. "Every Empire has a flaw," he whispered, "we just need to find it." His officers watched, some doubtful, some inspired. The room was filled with tension, yet also a strange excitement. For the first time, humans had a plan that could turn the war in their favor. Meanwhile, young Leo watched the preparations with wide eyes. He had snuck into the command center, curious and brave. "Why are they hiding all this?" he asked. Kieran smiled at him, "Because the Empire thinks we are weak, but humans are stronger than they know." Leo's heart beat faster as he realized that even children could play a role in this fight. High above Earth, Empire scouts moved cautiously, sensing unusual activity. But the human secret technology remained hidden, shielded by layers of deception. Kieran had prepared decoys, false transmissions, and traps. The Empire would be confident, but overconfidence was dangerous. A single clever move from humans could change the balance entirely. In the secret shipyard, massive vessels began to rise. They were unlike anything the Empire had seen before, sleek and fast, with hidden weapons. Pilots trained day and night, learning maneuvers that no enemy could predict. The youngest pilots, barely adults, learned to handle complex technology. Yet every human knew that courage mattered more than skill alone. Dr. Amina revealed her final secret to Kieran, a weapon that hummed with blue energy. "It can disable their ships, but only for a short time," she said. Kieran nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. They had no choice but to risk everything on this weapon. One wrong move and Earth would fall, but if they succeeded, humanity would rise forever. As night fell, humans held secret meetings, planning every detail of their first strike. Each team member knew their role, yet no one fully understood the full plan. This uncertainty created tension, but also trust. Humans relied on each other, on their courage, and on their cleverness. It was not just machines or weapons that would win this war, it was the human spirit. Meanwhile, the Empire's generals laughed in their distant command ships. They believed humans were weak, simple creatures. They did not know of the secret fleets, the hidden weapons, or the brave hearts below. Every empire assumes victory before the battle. And every empire underestimates humans at their own risk. Kieran stood on a balcony in the secret base, looking at the stars above. He imagined the first battle, the first clash with the Empire. Fear and excitement mixed in his chest. He whispered, "We are ready." Around him, humans prepared silently, shadows moving in the dark. The first strike would come soon, and the Empire would not know what hit them. Deep in the laboratory, Dr. Amina activated the energy cores. Blue light bathed the room, casting long shadows on the walls. The hum of power filled the air, vibrating in every human's chest. This was humanity's secret, their hope, their weapon against the Empire. And when the time came, it would shine like the dawn after a long night. The world above slept, unaware of the storm that would awaken. But below the surface, humans were alive with courage. They had a plan, a secret, and something the Empire could never understand. The human spirit, unbreakable, unstoppable, and clever beyond measure. And soon, the Empire would learn that the people of Earth were not weak. They were ready to fight, ready to rise, and ready to take back their freedom. The sky above Earth burned with lights as the first battle began. Human ships launched from hidden bases, sleek and fast, slipping past Empire scanners. Pilots gripped controls with sweat on their faces, hearts pounding. Every move counted, every second could mean life or death. Kieran watched from the command center, tension coiling in his chest. The Empire's massive ships loomed ahead, cold and menacing. They fired lasers that cut through the air like thunder. Explosions lit the darkness, sending debris spinning through space. Young Leo sat beside his father in a small shuttle, eyes wide. "This is it," he whispered, gripping the seat. He had trained for this moment, yet nothing could fully prepare him. Around him, other young pilots performed daring maneuvers, weaving between beams and explosions. They were outnumbered, outgunned, but determination burned brighter than fear. Above the battlefield, Empire admirals frowned, confused by the humans' strange tactics. They expected chaos and surrender, not coordination and cunning. Kieran had studied every movement, predicting the Empire's next step. Using decoy ships, sudden attacks, and unexpected formations, humans struck again and again. The Empire's confidence wavered, though their ships were far stronger. Dr. Amina activated the secret energy cores, sending pulses of blue light into enemy ships. Engines faltered, shields flickered, and small fleets vanished without warning. The Empire had never seen technology like this. Humans moved quickly, striking weak points and retreating before retaliation could come. Every victory, no matter how small, sent waves of hope through human hearts. On one edge of the battlefield, a small squadron faced disaster. An Empire cruiser had trapped them in a deadly formation, lasers cutting the void around them. Leo's shuttle darted between enemy fire, dodging with a courage he didn't know he had. He fired his own weapons, disabling the cruiser's shields. A fellow pilot shouted, "You did it, Leo." Leo's heart swelled with pride, realizing that bravery could match strength. Back at the command center, Kieran calculated the next strike. "Send the Alpha Squadron to flank the main fleet," he ordered. Ships surged forward, moving with precision and speed. The Empire scrambled to respond, firing indiscriminately. Explosions shook the void, streaks of fire lighting up the dark. Every human move was clever, unpredictable, a puzzle the Empire could not solve. For centuries, humans had adapted, survived, and thrived against impossible odds. Now, that ingenuity was their weapon, stronger than lasers or armor. In the chaos, small victories added up, turning despair into hope. But victory was not without cost. Several human ships were destroyed, brave pilots lost. Their sacrifice weighed heavily on the fleet. Yet every loss strengthened their resolve, reminding them why they fought. They were not just defending Earth, they were proving that humanity could never be broken. The Empire, frustrated and furious, began to retreat temporarily. They regrouped, planning a counterattack, unaware of the traps awaiting them. Kieran knew this was only the first clash, but it had proven something important. Humans could fight, humans could win, and the Empire was not invincible. Above Earth, stars shone quietly, indifferent to the war below. But for humans, every light felt like a promise, a spark of hope. Dr. Amina smiled, watching the damaged Empire ships drift away. Her invention had worked, giving humanity a chance. The young pilots cheered, exhausted but alive, hearts full of courage and pride. Kieran turned to his officers, determination blazing in his eyes. "This is just the beginning," he said. The Empire had underestimated humanity, and that mistake would cost them. Every person on Earth now understood a truth they had always known. Strength was not only measured in ships or weapons, but in courage, unity, and cleverness. As the first clash ended, humans returned to their hidden bases. Repairing, regrouping, and preparing for the next stage. The Empire would not give up easily, but humans were ready. They had survived the impossible, and now the fight for the Throneworld was real. The spark of rebellion had ignited, and nothing could stop it. Deep within the hidden human base, Kieran gathered his officers and pilots. Maps and holograms floated in the air, showing the Empire's Throneworld, a shining planet far from Earth. The Empire believed it was untouchable, guarded by thousands of ships and deadly weapons. But humans had a plan, one bold enough to shock the universe. Dr. Amina pointed to a weak spot in the planet's defense grids. Here, she said, the shield has a small blind zone, but it is risky. Kieran studied the map, fingers tracing paths, calculating every move. This is our chance, he said quietly. If we succeed, the Empire will never forget humanity. Young pilots trained in secret, learning maneuvers that no human had attempted before. Leo practiced day and night, mastering evasive patterns and precision strikes. Each member of the team knew the danger, yet excitement mixed with fear in their hearts. The Empire's Throneworld was a fortress, but humans thrived on challenges. They believed in courage, in cleverness, and in each other. Meanwhile, the Empire patrolled the outer layers of their Throneworld. Generals boasting about their strength, confident that no human could reach them. But they did not know of the hidden fleet, the secret technology, or the clever traps laid in wait. Every empire assumes victory before the battle. And every empire underestimates the humans at their own peril. Kieran divided the fleet into squads, each with a special mission. Some would distract the main fleet, drawing attention away from the real attack. Others would infiltrate the planet's defenses, moving undetected through shadowed corridors and hidden tunnels. Leo was part of the Alpha Squadron, tasked with a critical mission to disable the shield generators. He felt fear, but also a strange thrill, knowing that humans depended on his courage. As the fleet moved closer to the Throneworld, tension filled the air. Every movement was silent, precise, like a predator approaching its prey. Even the smallest mistake could reveal them, and failure meant annihilation. Kieran kept his eyes on the holographic map, issuing commands in calm, controlled tones. Yet inside, he felt the same nervous excitement as the young pilots. In the shadows of the Throneworld, human ships activated stealth fields. They slipped past scanners and patrols, silent as ghosts in the dark. Each squad followed their path, hearts pounding, eyes fixed on the objective. The Empire sensed something, but could not identify the intruders. Humans had learned patience, cleverness, and timing, and now these skills were their greatest weapons. Dr. Amina monitored energy cores remotely, ready to send pulses of power to disable shields at the perfect moment. Blue light hummed softly in the control room, signaling readiness. Kieran gave the final order, strike when ready. The fleet moved as one, silent but deadly, a shadow moving across the stars. The Empire's Throneworld was majestic, glowing, untouchable, but not for humans. Suddenly, alarms rang out on the human ships, small patrols had detected them. Pilots reacted instantly, weaving through enemy fire, using tactics no one had ever imagined. Lasers streaked past, explosions rocked the void, yet humans pressed on. Every move was calculated, every risk taken with precision. The first wave reached the blind spot, disabling shield generators one by one. Kieran watched with pride, seeing humans perform feats no one thought possible. The Throneworld's defenses weakened, cracks appearing in the Empire's armor. For the first time, humans had turned the tables, proving that cleverness and courage could overcome sheer power. Yet the battle was far from over, the Empire would retaliate. But for this moment, humanity had hope, and hope was a weapon stronger than any laser. As human ships regrouped, the tension remained high. The Throneworld was within reach, yet danger lurked at every corner. The Empire would strike back with fury, but humans had one thing the Empire never understood: unity, intelligence, and bravery. And soon, they would show the universe that Earth's people were not just survivors, but conquerors in their own right. The stage was set, the plan in motion, and the final battle for the throne world was about to begin. The throne world glowed beneath the stars, majestic and untouchable. Empire forces moved with confidence, unaware that humans had slipped past their defenses. In the hidden fleet, Kieran gave one last command. "This is the moment we show the Empire what humans are made of," he said, voice calm but fierce. Alpha Squadron, led by young Leo, raced through the shadowed corridors of space. Lasers streaked past them, explosions rocked the void, but the humans moved as one. Every pilot knew the risks, yet fear was replaced by determination. Each ship, each maneuver, each decision mattered. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for freedom, for Earth, for all humanity. On the surface of the throne world, infiltration teams landed in secret. Dr. Amina's energy cores hummed, ready to strike the Empire's defenses. Guards patrolled corridors unaware of the shadows moving around them. Humans disabled weapons, sabotaged communication systems, and took control of key points. The Empire had trained for war, but they had never faced humans with courage, cleverness, and unity. In the skies above the throne world, massive human ships engaged the Empire's fleet. Tactics were clever and unpredictable, using the enemy's strength against them. Lasers bounced off shields, explosions tore through enemy hulls. Humans fought with precision, bravery, and a will that no machine could break. Every strike was calculated, every move part of a larger plan. Inside the throne chamber, the Empire's leaders watched the chaos. Their faces twisted in disbelief, unable to comprehend how humans had reached them. "They are clever, too clever," one general muttered. The humans had outsmarted them, turning their fortress into a battlefield they could not control. Kieran knew this was the turning point, the moment that would decide the fate of Earth and the throne world. Leo and his squadron reached the final shield generator, pulsing with energy. He activated his device, sending a surge that weakened the last barrier. The humans had broken through, and the Empire's power wavered. Kieran's command fleet moved in, striking the main control systems. The throne world was theirs to claim, not by destruction alone, but by courage, strategy, and heart. On the surface, humans raised their flags, symbols of Earth and unity. The Empire's leaders, defeated and stunned, could only watch. For the first time, the conquerors of galaxies faced defeat at the hands of those they thought weak. And humans, proud and determined, had proven their strength. The throne world, once untouchable, was now under humanity's control. Kieran walked among his people, eyes shining with pride. Young Leo stood beside him, tired but exhilarated. Dr. Amina smiled as she watched her invention work perfectly. Humans had done the impossible, not with overwhelming force, but with courage, intelligence, and unity. The Empire would remember this day forever, a day when humans refused to bow. Above the throne world, stars shone brighter than ever. They seemed to celebrate humanity's victory, silent witnesses to courage and determination. Earth's people had risen, claiming not just a planet, but their destiny. The Empire had arrived to conquer, but humanity had shown they could fight, survive, and triumph. And now, the throne world belonged to humans, a symbol of hope, strength, and the unbreakable human spirit. As the fleet regrouped, Kieran looked at the horizon. He knew more battles would come, more challenges awaited. But for now, humanity had proven something powerful. That even the strongest empire could not crush a people who dared to dream, dared to fight, and dared to rise. The throne world was theirs, and with it, the promise of a future where humans ruled their destiny. And somewhere in the hearts of every human, pride, courage, and hope burned brighter than the stars. The Empire had underestimated them. But humans, united and clever, had taken their place among the stars. The battle was won, the throne claimed, and humanity had written its legend.